God has breathed life into all Scripture. It is useful for teaching us what is true. It is useful for correcting our mistakes. It is useful for making our lives whole again. It is useful for training us to do what is right. 2 Timothy 3:16. Oh, hi friends! You caught me reading the Bible verse. This week, we're looking at 2 Timothy 3:16. And for those of you who forgot, my name is Barbra the Bible fanatic. And this is my friend, what's your name?
I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike. So, we are Bible fanatics. And today, we're going to learn the rest of Paul's letters.
Last week, we learned about some letters that Paul wrote to the churches he helped to start, from Rome to Ephesus to Corinth and more. This week, we're going to look at the rest of Paul's letters he wrote to friends.
Most people who still write letters don't write letters to big groups of people. They write them to friends. And Paul was no exception. These letters are a little more personal. A lot more personal. Some are personal. They teach us more about how we should live as Christians. But they also teach us the value of having good Christian friends, like my friend Mike, and teachers to encourage our faith.
First up are the letters to the Thessalonians.
That's tough to say.
It's really hard. All right, these letters were written to the church at Thessalonica, but they are more personal than the other church letters. The Thessalonians, were undergoing a lot of persecution for their faith. Paul wanted to remind them that Jesus would one day return and their suffering would end. For the two letters to the Thessalonians, count 1, 2, and 2 on one hand, and then make a T with your hands, putting your left on top of the right.
Left on top of the right. All right, the next two were written to Timothy. Hey, that's where our verse is about, to Timothy, a student of Paul's who became a pastor. These letters were full of advice for young Timothy and pastors today. For these two letters, we'll count 1, 2 on our fingers, and then make a T, but this time we start with our right hand. Everybody do it with their right hand? And right on top and T on the bottom. It's kind of hard for me, but look at my friend Mike. All right, Mike, over to you.
All right. The next letter was written to Titus, and another T name. Titus was traveling with Paul when he went to the island of Crete and started a new church. Titus stayed to help the new church, and Paul wrote this letter of advice to Titus. Let's tie a bow in the air with our hands to remember the name Titus.
Oh, that's clever. Tie a bow for Titus. Oh, that's funny. And then the last letter is the most important one of all. Paul wrote this letter to a man named Philemon. Oh, I said it right. Oh, about a runaway slave that belonged to Philemon. This slave's name was Onesimus. And Paul wanted Philemon to not only forgive his slave for running away, but welcome him back as a fellow believer. It is a short letter, but very powerful.
Onesimus was a slave who Christ set free from sin. Put your wrists together and then break them apart as if breaking chains. This will help us remember Philemon.
Can you guys review these 6 books with me? All right, Mike, you do the actions. They're a little hard for me sometimes.
Okay.
Here we go. Count 1 and 2, and with your left hand on top for Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. And now count 1 and 2, and now use your right hand and make a T for Timothy. Now tie a knot in the air. Tie a knot in the air, Mike. for Titus, and then break the chains to remember Philomene. Oh, guys, I am so proud of you. We're so close to the end of learning all the books of the Bible.
Next week, we will learn the last books of the Bible. But until then, keep practicing Genesis through Philemon.
See you next week,